Hello, hello, Hidden Hermit here. How you doing? Here is the Sun card, and here is the Sun card from the English Magic Tarot. What ho, pip pip, English Magic, don't you know? Um, I'm a big fan of this deck. Not necessarily because of its the quality or anything, but because of the system that it portrays. It's a slightly different left field take on how the tarot trumps and indeed pips are presented to us. And this is indeed the Sun card. Now, every card, with the exception of the aces, I think, depicts some sort of historical figure coming from the the 14 to the 1700s of English history. And this is no exception, although the exception is this could be one of two fellas. So in the book that comes with it, which is a cracking book, it's really good. It's like a history lesson as well as a divination guide, if you like. The book suggests that this could be one of two people, either Sir Walter Raleigh or Sir Francis Drake, two sirs. Now, when we think about the Sun card, we think of exuding your personality, presenting how you present yourself to the world, courage, success, all those sorts of things, and the one thing I find quite interesting about the idea behind the people who portray the Sun card is, yeah, they can absolutely be representative of those vibes. You know, they were very successful people. They were both explorers. They were both, well, Sir Francis Drake was a naval officer. He was mostly famed for commanding the fleet that beat the Spanish Armada when it tried to attack England in the days of yore. Sir Walter Raleigh was like a poet, a writer, explorer, spy, and a soldier. And both were explorers, which I think is the most positive aspect of their lives, if you like. There are incredibly negative aspects as well, like for example, Sir Francis Drake. He was heavily involved in the slave trade, and Sir Walter Raleigh introduced tobacco to the British Isles. Yeah, nice one, mate. Anyway, so let's think about the more positive aspects. Like I say, they were very successful men. They were very flamboyant people as well. I mean, you can see this guy here is dressed in this finery. Obviously, the aesthetic is to portray the idea of the Sun card with these yellows and reds. There's a fiery passion behind it. His posture suggests well, I mean, he could be a little bit full of himself, and that's what I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to articulate at this point, because a lot of people think that the Sun card is wholly positive, and I like to agree with that. Although there are indeed negative aspects to all cards. So if it was ill dignified, if it came out reversed, then you could think that the success that you feel are due, or what is due to you, isn't quite there yet. Or perhaps you're being arrogant and you're exuding your own personality a little bit too much, and that's that's the vibe I get when I see this man with his well, how can you put it? He's almost just look at his face. He's giving you an almost sideways glance, if you like. There is an air of arrogance about this fella. Which is interesting because most decks you see the Sun card and it's incredibly positive. It's really bright. I just think that's an interesting attribute. So I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me. The other thing that I quite like, and it's not actually the book that tells you this. I think it's one of the creators' Facebook pages. He gives a quote attributed to Sir Walter Raleigh, and the quote is, "There are two things scarce matched in the universe: the sun in heaven and the Thames on earth." The Thames is the river that runs through London, and I like that quote because it gives you the idea of the sun that's unmatched and resplendent, important indeed, and you also get that vibe of as above, so below, that hermetic principle of correspondence. It just vibes well with me. So this card, I do believe, is a very resplendent one. I mean, just look at the sun there. You also get the sunflowers, which is also a reoccurring motif in a lot of sun cards. I like it. it kind of goes boom. Every time I pull the sun, I'm like, boom. And that's just one of my fun little quirks when I'm doing readings. But yeah, I just wanted to share this sun card with you. I think it's quite spectacular, with some interesting historical connotations attached to it. So that is the sun card from the English Magic Tarot. Thank you.